Hi there. In today's video, we're going to be talking about detoxification from hormones. After today's video, you'll know why we would want to make sure that our body is detoxifying or metabolizing hormones properly, how it does this naturally, and how we can encourage those natural pathways. If you like this video and you find it helpful, click subscribe and the bell so you can get more of this. So I hope that this will be helpful, and let's dive in. First, let's start with why. Why would we want to make sure that we're detoxifying from hormones? Hormones are messengers that our body uses. They're little packages, kind of like our Amazon shipments. And so when they arrive to a certain place, they're going to send a signal and they're going to do something. So if we have too much of them, that signal could be overpowering and it might not be turned off properly. So we want to make sure that when we have an excess of these hormones, they're going to be turned off or turned on. And they control certain things that happen in our body. So making sure we have the right amount is important, specifically for things like estrogen. High estrogen levels can prevent ovulation. It can signal a false pregnancy and prevent weight loss and cause weight gain. And it can also affect our immune system. Estrogen could be affecting how our immune system works. It could be depressing it slightly and could cause some worsening of autoimmune illnesses. So estrogen actually could increase our immune function, and that could worsen certain conditions, especially ones that are autoimmune illnesses where our immune system is unfortunately attacking our own tissues. So these are things to keep in mind, that we want to make sure that we have the right amount of hormones in our body at the right time. So detoxifying from ones that are in too high of a level can be an important part. So we'll talk about estrogen primarily. Estrogen, when it's in high levels, it can be from either our body producing too much of it, but we can also be exposed to environmental estrogen-like compounds. These are called xenoestrogens, and they are compounds that look a lot like estrogen. They act like it, but they're from things like plastics, from certain chemicals that are used in the food industry. And so because we naturally come in contact with these in our everyday daily lives, we breathe them in, sometimes we have them applied in certain skincare. So we need to make sure that if those have been in our body and we have high estrogen signs, that we encourage those pathways to have our body rebalance itself. Our body naturally eliminates estrogen through our liver and our bile. It is a fat-soluble hormone, and so because of that, it means that we need to make sure our liver is functioning properly. It's our gallbladder is functioning properly, so that's its downstream buddy. And then also its other downstream buddy is our intestines. So we need to make sure we're having regular bowel movements. I know some people might not want to talk about poop. Poop's not the greatest thing to talk about, but if you're not pooping, you're not getting your estrogen out. So there we go. That's what we need to make sure of. And there's other processes that our liver does that we can encourage. We'll talk about that in just a second. And third, we want to consider if we've been exposed to synthetic hormones, things like estrogen that is used in birth control, or in things that could be bioidentical hormones used for hormone therapies. Some people with cancer will undergo hormone therapies, and they might use synthetic hormones as well. So there's a few instances that might be used, as well as girls who might not be entering puberty on time. So these are just things to consider that might be synthetically based. They are estrogen-like, so that means our body is going to treat them like estrogen, and we want to encourage them to be out of there so our body can function normally. In order to encourage detoxification from synthetic hormones like those used in birth control, we want to encourage both liver and kidney function. So I'm going to link right up here for where you can watch my Creating the Void video, which talks about encouraging detoxification overall, specifically with kidneys and liver. So last, what can we do in our lifestyle and nutrition? We can make sure that we're eating enough fiber. Getting enough fiber in bulk through things like fruits and vegetables is really important for regular bowel movements, making sure those bowel movements are going to encourage bile excretion from our liver. And so those are things that are important. Making sure to eat green leafy vegetables. They encourage detoxification. They also have a lot of fiber in and of themselves. So that's part of it. And also supporting our body with having regular bowel movements. That's the main way that we're going to be talking about today, of getting these out through things like probiotic and prebiotic foods. Supplementation could be used if someone needs to, but you should talk with your doctor about that. But really, there are foods that are prebiotic and probiotic as well. And those we can incorporate. Everybody has to eat, so might as well encourage good things with what we eat. And last but not least, we need to encourage our kidneys to function well, like I talked about, and that can be through drinking enough water, making sure we get enough water throughout the day, and juicing. So this is things like fresh raw juices, not things that are store-bought, not apple juice that you buy in a jar. These are going to have live active enzymes. They're going to have nutrients that haven't broken down as well from the plant, and so it can help provide active electrolytes for our kidneys to work properly and fluid for them to filter things well. And now I do want to talk about a few supplements. If someone's going to use supplementation, definitely discuss it with your doctor before introducing anything. Some of these could interact with medications, so you just want to make sure, check with your medical doctor or your naturopathic doctor as well, so you can see if they're the right fit for you. But N-acetylcysteine is really great. It actually encourages liver function, so that it's going, and kidney function, in a way where it's going to increase the liver's capacity to detoxify and partner with the kidneys in order to flush things out. That really is helpful. Milk thistle is another thing. So if we've been exposed to some of these, like I talked about, xenoestrogens or synthetic hormones, milk thistle has two things where, one, it can help increase liver function. It can also help protect the liver with a component called silymarin. And so silymarin is a protective antioxidant that can help make sure that the liver, while we're going through all of this detoxification, is protected from the oxidants that are going to be created during detoxification. And last but not least, I want to talk about dandelion root. Now, I haven't mentioned this in any videos yet. I really love dandelion root, especially as a tea. You can get it, and I'll provide a link for a really tasty version that I like. It's sweetened with dates, and dandelion root is a diuretic as well as it encourages liver function. So it can be taken, like I said, as a tea. It's pretty mild, but its diuretic effects not only help with people who are struggling with weight gain or inflammation, but it's going to encourage liver function, and the diuretic effects is going to support the kidneys and making sure that we're going to be able to filter things. So it's also providing fluid, so our kidneys have enough fluid to filter things out without us getting dehydrated. So all around, I really like dandelion root as well. So there you have it. These are some things that are important about hormone detoxification, and a few things that we can do to help support this for our body. If you liked this video, subscribe and hit the bell so you can find out when more are made. And I'd love to share with you in the comments and hear what you thought was interesting. So I look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, be well.